hospitalized a couple of times where you thought, I may die?
Probably more subconsciously, not so much at the forefront of, within the scenario or whatever's taking place. Yeah, it's of course it had crossed my mind. I'd be a liar if I sat here and said it hadn't, but not to the point where I ever felt like I was blacking out or passing out or having a giant heart pain or something like that. But it did. But it doesn't. I can't be in denial and say that it didn't feel that something could have gone sideways real quick.
I mean, addiction specialists, you've seen them all coming out in the last few
years.
Been
around for 22 years.
Right.
And in line of me for 2 decades.
Right. Well, and we'll come to that. But the premise of their argument with you is that you're in some kind of denial about this, and actually you've never really stopped and thought, I've got to sort myself out properly. That if you do follow their program,
right,
they can work. And lots of people would be watching this saying, it worked for me.
And then I can have a life like theirs? I'm going to pass.
Really? Why?
Why? Because I'm a winner. And their lives look like they're, ruled by losers. So just to put it in black and white terms. I don't want their lives, and they want mine. They want to criticize the hell out of it, And now they've run the gamut from okay, he's not loaded. Now what? Oh, he's manic. I don't even know what that means. That, I guess, would imply that there's going to be a crash. I don't know when that's coming, but maybe you could cover it when it does.
See, some of the interviews you give them,
right? I'm just a little excited. Well, no,
some of my thoughts are energized. Yeah, some of them I find a little bit erratic. Yeah, when I'm listening to you tonight, on this interview, I don't think you sound that crazy at all. You sound alarmingly normal.
Thank you.
You sound great.
Thank you. No, I am here. I'm right here.
But I'm available. Somebody who knew you from the early 90s. I can't pretend I haven't watched the stories from afar and thought, I hope he's okay. Yeah. I hope that he's not doing something stupid.
Sure, appreciate that. Thank you.
And a lot of your fans will be watching this feeling the same way, that it's kind of, you're on tenterhooks with you all the time. That leading your life on the edge like this is a constant worry for family, for friends, for fans, isn't it?
I wish people would shift that focus onto themselves and their own family and their own friends, and just maybe spend a little more time on their home front and not some distant planet that is me, and not offer opinions and judgments about a guy they don't even know. It's a guy that, even if I get an interview that's, the Q&A, you can control it. No, you can't, man. There's bookends to tell you how you're supposed to feel before you read it, and then how you're supposed to feel after you're done. And so people don't really ever get a sense of who I am or what I am or why I am.
Are you a happy guy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my motto is enjoy every moment. And
people all addicts have to be essentially unhappy people.
I don't believe myself to be an addict. I really don't. I think that I'm going to just ignore or smash or finally dismiss a model that I think is rooted in vintage balderdash, for lack of a better word.
What would you call yourself if you're not an addict?
I mean, what's another word?
I mean, do you think it's simply a case of you like to party? Is it as simple as that?
Well, no. I mean, I as long as I subscribe to the beliefs of others that build these models that don't really leave any room for individuality or creativity or anything that, they say you've got to surrender and you got to get rid of your resentments. You got to sit around and be all lame. I can't find a label other than just alive. There's this great quote going around. Yeah, I'm behind a drug. It's called Charlie Sheen, and it's like,
I
like a good line.
I know you weren't when you're joking. Yeah, and I've laughed at a lot of the things you've been saying, which have been raised other people. Because if you don't know you, when I interviewed you in the 90s, you were hilarious.
Thank you.
And I took about 90% of what you said with what we would say in Britain was a pinch of salt.
There you go.
It was funny, and I still think that you are seeing the humour in all this while going through what is a pretty awful situation, and you're feeling angry, but I get the fact you still feel humour as well, right?
Well,
Some of it's absurdly funny.
I have to. I'm trying to remind people there's a reason that I've had mad success doing comedy. You can't be completely boring and asleep and do really good comedy.
If you were running a network,
right?
Let's put you on the spot for a minute. You're in charge of CBS.
I need your time. I need your time for starters.
Sorry. Okay, well, swap time.
All right.
So you're running the network,
right?
How would you have reacted to the star of your #1 family comedy, which is watched by families and liked by families, behaving off-screen in the way that you've been behaving?
Well, I mean, if I was... I first look at the writing. I look at a lot of the stuff that they were already getting away with, because if anything, that's the first shot across the bow at the family aspect of it, and I mean, there's always, a pee-pee or a butt or a poo-poo joke or a thing, and I'm being like kind right now, in ways that they make you see things or feel imagery that is, it's just juvenile and gross. And it's not, I don't think it comes close to, or I think it eclipses some of the stuff I'm doing out there on my most epic nights,
And of course, the irony is your character's not exactly a saint.
No, he's not. He's not.
Well, there's a certain brand alignment here, isn't there?
Right, but it's okay to smoke cigars, just not cigarettes. It's okay to drink, tons of vodka, but don't go near cocaine, because God forbid people all go.
Okay to be a big womanizer on the show,
right?
Not in real life.
No.
Do you think there's a hypocrisy there?
I think that they, in some way, think that they have some magic literary influence over me by perhaps writing things and then going, oh my God, look how powerful we are. Now he's doing it. No, morons. The reason the show was created was because of the lifestyle I had, and you guys based it on that. So I gave you so much of your father already.
Let's have another break, that's right. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the women in your life.
Love it.
Charlie Sheen is my special guest tonight. Charlie, tell me about the women in your life. To put it mildly, your life is unconventional.
Pretty good word for it. I think it's just straight out bitching. Well, there's the Natty, and then there's the Rach. These are the goddesses.
And what function do the goddesses perform?
Oh gosh, name it.
You have two girlfriends, basically.
I do, yeah, and it's what David Ward described as the wedge.
The wedge.
The wedge. Yes.
What is the wedge?
The wedge is a football term that it's a formation that controls the guy carrying the ball. My man.
So, let me ask you. Let me play devil's advocate for a second, because I've got to admit that part of me, when I listen to you talk, I chuckle. Yeah, I don't get nearly.
I do too.
I don't get the sense of other people, but I'm also aware. I'm a family guy. I've got 3 kids. I'm also aware that there'll be lots of people.
I have 5. Yeah,
right.
Sure.
And there'll be people watching saying, "All right, go tougher on Charlie here," because you have been until recently, you're taking a lot of illegal drugs. You are a family show. You have a responsibility as a role model to people who are watching the show, especially their kids. You have your own kids. You're a dad of 5 kids yourself. How far do you feel that sense of responsibility in terms of your personal behavior?
Well, now with some distance from it, I realize its value, and I plan to maintain it and protect it like a precious gem for the rest of my days.
Do you think you got out of control?
Well, yeah. I don't have another gear,
Is it as bad as you've ever been?
Well, no, I wouldn't say it was as bad. It was just it was as busy as I've ever been.
The infamous bender that we read about a few weeks ago, what did you actually consume in that bender? What was a Charlie Sheen bender like? Which bender we talking about? The one where we had 5 women come over your house at sort of 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't know there was going to be a math test, I don't know if there were 5. I don't think there were 5. At least there wasn't 5 that were doing that thing.
Right.
No, the reason it went bad is because I don't do pills. I don't take opiates. I don't do benzos. I don't do any of that stuff. It's psychotropic nonsense. So
you take cocaine, right?
Well, I used to. Yeah. I got to be careful because there's lawsuits and things going on and whatever.
No, until you stopped, you were taking a lot of cocaine.
Well, yeah. I'm not taking it. I had to pay for it.
Yeah.
Come on. So anyway,
what was you taking on that particular bender?
Well, I hadn't done any for a while, like 7 hours, but I had this hernia thing that was popping out, and I might have caught a piece of the valve. Sounds gross. That's how the doctor described it, and the pain was as though someone was driving a hot saber through my gut. And because I won't take a pain pill, because those things are like, wow. Actually, George Carlin always said I would, I already have pain and an anti-pain pill. But so I won't take those. So I maybe hit the vodka a little too hard to reduce the pain, and I just kind of was that final push, that final drop down the falls. And then I guess somebody decided to call 911, and actually Stephanie Matlow, Tony Tom, they took care of that thing perfectly. It was the other voices that we hear on the tape. I got things confused.
When you wake up after these benders, let's assume for the argument's sake there won't be any more. You decided you're going to stop.
Yeah.
With your kids in particular, a lot of parents say to me, "Oh, Charlie, when he wakes up from these things, how do you feel about the reaction that they're going to have when they're in the school playground with their friends, all the embarrassment that comes their way?"
I mean, it's a shame, and it's a shame that we live in an evil world like that sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. That stuff I can't control. What I can control is them never being exposed to anything dangerous ever at any point in time.
So you've never had any drugs in the house when your kids were around?
No. And if it was my weekend, then we would go somewhere else. If it was they just weren't there, I would never. Those things just don't go together, But that's just common sense and courtesy, right?
It is. I mean, there's still. Listen, you know what people say about what's being jail.
Yeah.
A lot of people can get very moralistic about this.
Of course.
I would say, in your case, you again, I come back to you, entitled to, I think, pretty much do what you like in your own life. It is illegal what you were doing. If you're running a big network like CBS, are you entitled to say you broke the law, therefore you're in breach of your contract?
It's only illegal if I admit to it, and they've never once checked with me. You always got to consider the source. And you look at some of these retarded zombies, these trolls that roll out of there and heading back for the rock to crawl back under the sun peaks out, and they're putting so much stock into the words and the thoughts, and then, as I've said, the gibberish fools, and not checking anything with me. There's no interest in cross-checking the story.
But you wouldn't deny taking loads of cocaine.
Well, no, of course not. But I'm saying...
Isn't that a bit of a moot point, really? I mean, it's like...
No, I'm just talking about some of the sources that they put that's the basket they put all their eggs in, That's a weird metaphor, by the way.
Right, it is.
Wow.
But you don't think anyone's really exaggerated the scale of it? I mean, when you say you've out-partied Keith Richards, for example, we get the general gist of what's been going on.
I might have been exaggerating. I didn't have my blood all, changed, That's a gnarly move, by the way. I stumbled into an area suddenly in my brain that didn't need sleep, and that was the problem.
Right.
Because I could function without sleep. And when you can do that, if you get through the day, then you sort of park the night and start making plans for the night ahead, and it's just on, and things get a little bit, you tend to overshoot the mark.
People who are experts in this kind of thing say that one of the reasons why you've been firing off in the way that you have is that it's a classic symptom of a guy who's taking a lot of drugs and then stops.
Right.
And
So
actually,
I'm on a pink cloud.
possibly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And in their opinion, or in their vast research, pink clouds have to go away. Can't you just be in a pink cloud your whole life and just be super bitching and focused?
Do you feel angrier now, though, than when you were, say, 6-7 weeks ago? Do you feel angry now?
No, I feel more alive. I feel more focused. I feel more energetic. My workouts are really intense. I'm in training for a movie because now I got time to do it.
You're physically fit.
Well, yeah. No, I was at my high school weight of 160. But I'm also a ball player, and I need to be strong to never fail in front of my heroes again, like I did at UCLA that day. They say, "Oh, it's not a failure. You bounced a couple balls in front of the wall." Are you kidding me? Those same pitches are usually halfway up a light tower.
Do you get insurance for movies and stuff because of what's been going on?
I mean, that nobody has said that they can't, and I know that Roman Coppola is about to get financing for a film we're going to do, and that David Ward and I are going to do Major League 3, well, that guy right there, and Tony Todd. And then Stallone walked up in the gym the other day and said, "Hey, you want to do a movie?" And I'm like, "Sure." Not like, "Man, what is it?" "Yeah, I'll do a movie with you. You're awesome. You're a rock star. You're in this Hall of Fame."
And you've had calls from people like Mel Gibson and other people who've been through similar stuff to you. What did Mel say to you?
It was just great. It was just like, not calling any advice, just like, just thought you might like to hear a friendly voice. He was a stone cold dude. I was really impressed. Sean was over the other night.
Sean Penn.
Sorry out you, Sean. What
did he say to you?
Oh, he was just happy to see me, and we just had a few laughs, and we took a photo on the couch that was on my show, the episode that he did. And he met the goddesses. He just.
Do any of these guys say, "Come on, Charlie, enough's enough"? Do any of them do that to you?
No, because they're too smart for that.
But
you mean during the party or during right now?
No, I mean before you. Obviously now you're off the drugs and stuff. When you were in a lot of papers in the last few weeks.
Absolutely. No, they wouldn't be my best friends if they didn't. Of course they were rolling through and saying, "Dude, you win. It's it. You're done." Carrie Owens, for instance, going and says, "All right, dude, all of them, Flynn, Sinatra, Richards, all of them," he says, "You win. It's over. There's nothing left." I'm like, "You're right. Damn it. Okay." And
when it's guys like that saying to you, are they the people you listen to more than anybody on the outside?
Well, yeah, because they know me. They know who I am, and they've known me for a long time. So, and plus they've been in similar situations where you're sort of balancing, fame and work and all the family components and everything else that comes along with it.
I mean, is it hard being the star, the